Welcome in, everybody, to the third episode of Sideline Chatter. Here in a nice Monday night. Co-host Justin Hagee, along here with James. How's it going tonight, James?
It's going well. Getting excited. Right around the corner. Got our main league draft in less than 2 weeks.
Yes.
Very excited.
So
Best time of the year.
It is August 2nd. Our main league draft is August 15th,
Yes.
which is a Sunday. You know, we're going to get loose as always. So the Friday we got to go out to eat with the league, come home, play the Pong tournament for draft pick.
Which
Saturday.
I won last year. No big deal.
Yes.
No big deal.
Party beast over here.
I'm washed.
And Saturday we're going to hit up the golf course, then the beach, the casino. And Sunday we're going to, Reggie's saying play basketball in the morning, but.
We got some Derek Hagees and Eric Spivaks in the league, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and if I stay over at the casino Saturday night, I ain't playing basketball till 10 in the morning. So
The real party beast, ladies and gentlemen.
So this topic of this episode is going to be running back rankings. We're going to be ranking them from 30 all the way down to 1 for you guys. We're not going to talk about every single player because that'll be a long-ass video. So we're going to talk about like few players per like 5 rankings. So this is our first video talking about players. The first 2 episodes are just about like drafting and your league and stuff like that. So we're going to start diving in with the drafts around the corner. So without further ado, let's jump into this. I'll see you.
Further ado. Oh, man. No,
Start off
good.
the
We're
rankings.
good. I'll start off. So my 30 through 26 is Zach Moss, Damian Harris, Javonte Williams, Raheem Mostert, and Chase Edmonds. So I'm going to start off with Zach Moss. I'm going to say a little bit. I think he should take over the carries this year. Singletary's been there a few years and really hasn't proven anything that he's anything special. Zach Moss can catch the ball. I don't know why they don't throw it to him. In college, he was a pretty good pass catcher. And I think he's worth taking the chance on they have him ranked at like other websites like lower than this. So I think he's worth taking a chance on as an RB4, even 5. I have him as our keeper around 14. So I'm going to take him there because I think that's a steal for Zach Moss. But you want me to keep going or you want to?
I'll write off my next 5. But not touching on Zach Moss, I do like him as like a late round target. He's in a really good offense, like top, I guess like 3 in the league now.
Yeah.
The only bad side about that, they don't really run the ball a lot. But if they do decide to run the ball more, I think he'll be like a great value later in drafts. So that's a good point. Starting my 30 to 26, I have Michael Carter, James Robinson, Damian Harris, Trey Sermon, and then Chase Edmonds. I want to talk about 2 of these guys on here. First is going to be Trey Sermon, who's a rookie for the 49ers. The reasons why I like him a lot is it's kind of simple. He's on the Niners, who obviously is ran by Shanahan, and they always run the ball. That's their identity all the time. And he's like the 1B right now in training camp behind, obviously, Raheem Mostert. But through his career, we obviously know he's been like injured a ton. Dude's got glass bones. So he's probably going to get hurt some point throughout the year.
Yeah.
So if Sermon steps into that like lead back role, I think he legit has like top 15 upside later in the leagues. Like I know he's not going to produce fresh off the bat, most likely not, but he's a player I love to target late in the rounds, like round 8, round 9, round 10 and on. He's been going kind of early in like some mocks, like round 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I know somebody in the TikTok live mentioned this, like also like when your league's drafting, depending on what rankings you're using, like it actually affects the draft like a shit ton.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were talking about it earlier, like Yahoo has him at like 28 or 29, and then like Fantasy Pros will have him at like 40. So it's like it affects a lot of shit, but I like Trey Sermon a lot, target him a lot. Next, I'm going to talk about Chase Edmonds. I feel like a lot of people are down on him. I mean, he's at 26, so I don't have him too high, but like last year, he's coming off 53 catches last year, 4.6 yards per carry. He's also 5.0 yards per carry for his career. Obviously, they brought in James Conner, which nobody likes.
But that doesn't scare me either.
Right. I mean, he'll probably take a bulk of the carries, but if we even get a 50-50 split here, I think he'll return value because obviously he's an elite pass catcher. The Cardinals' offense should be a really dynamic offense. And if Conner were to miss time, I think Edmonds can honestly be like RB1. That's kind of bold to say, but like behind Edmonds and Conner, there's not really another running back that's going to get any touches. So Chase Edmonds as like a 0 RB player or like RB3/flex, I think is really good value. And if Connor, he's also another one who's been hurt a ton in his career. So if he figures to miss time, I think Edmonds is a huge value at this point. But I am shaky about his touches right now. That's why he is low. But if he were to see 15 to 20 touches per game, I think he would return value. Definitely at that 26 spot. That wraps mine 5 up right there.
I got nothing to add about Edmonds. I think Justin just said every piece of information about Chase Edmonds you could find on the internet. But, so I'm going to go 25 to 21. I got Travis Etienne, Mike Davis, Kareem Hunt, Darrell Henderson, Myles Gaskin. I'm going to start off with 25, Travis Etienne. You don't take a first-round pick on a running back if you're not going to use him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been proven throughout the history of the NFL. He's a home run threat in college. I don't have the number in front of me, but he scored I feel like he scored multiple touchdowns every week. He's paired with Trevor Lawrence. I know that's like a big storyline for the real NFL, not fantasy, but I think that will have a huge impact on his fantasy outlook. He might not start off hot because I still think James Robinson's the starter.
Yeah.
But they plan to use him all over the field, and I think it's one of those situations where he'll take over like halfway through the season. At least like whatever the split is, if it's 60-40, it'll flip the other way, 60-40 in his favor at some point. But he'll definitely be involved in the pass game, which is enormous for fantasy. But
yeah.
You have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like him as a player here, but like I feel like this can kind of be like a Saints situation with like he can be the Kamara type and then Robinson be like Latavius Murray. Like he'll get more run than most backups, but then Etienne will get the valuable looks. So in the receiving game, maybe in the red zone. But he would be higher if Robinson wasn't there, and they also did sign Carlos Hyde. So like his rushing attempts probably will not be that high, but they're lining him up outside as a receiver and stuff. So I guess he can provide value there. You had him ranked where? 25. 25, okay. So I'm gonna rattle off my next 5. 25 is Mike Davis, 24 Etienne, 23 Kareem Hunt, Henderson at 22, and Josh Jacobs at 21. Yeah. Who do I want to talk about here? Darrell Henderson, I think he's kind of interesting. As of right now, he's kind of low at 22, but I feel like his ADP could rise towards the start of the season because like I still don't know if they're going to bring in like a veteran running back like a Gurley or a Bell. I think McVay said he doesn't plan on it, but like that could always change with injuries and training camp and whatnot. But at 22 right now, I think he's really good value. If you're a 3-down back playing in the Rams offense, you just added Matthew Stafford. I mean, you really can't fail there. He's also another one. I feel like I've said this a lot, but he's kind of been banged up a little bit throughout his career. Every running back probably has been. Yeah. But like I said, 3-down back, most likely in a high-powered offense, it's good value. It just screams value. So, well, that wraps up mine there. I have Josh Jacobs at 21. I know last year he finished like pretty high. I think he had like 10 rushing touchdowns. But I think with the addition of Kenya Drake, like that'll hurt his value and like kind of like zero him out in the passing game. But I'm gonna go to my 20 to 16 now. 20 is Myles Gaskin, then Miles Sanders, Chris Carson, J.K. Dobbins, and then DeAndre Swift. This group of guys, I think you're fine with them as your RB2. Obviously, you obviously don't want to have these guys as your running back 1. There's question marks with all of them, but I want to talk about DeAndre Swift here because I like him a lot as a player. They did bring in Jamal Williams, which I guess it does obviously hurt his value. He might sniff away some goal line touches and touches in the pass game, but the Lions really don't have any playmakers. Like they have T.J. Hawkinson, and the receiving core is a bunch of just like nobodies at this point. It's like Perryman, St. Brown. Yeah. So it's like I think Swift he might see like all the targets he can handle. I know last year he lined up as a receiver 15% of his snaps, which is high for a running back. So I think he has actually like tremendous upside this late. I have him ranked 16. I know a lot of people have him lower. Some have him higher.
Yeah, I'm a little higher.
A little higher. Okay, yeah. So I like DeAndre Swift as a player, but I think he'll ball out this year. He should, in my opinion.
Do you have anybody else that you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'll talk about Dobbins a little bit here. I feel like in the TikTok community, he's kind of getting like chewed out a lot because he doesn't catch passes. That's like a common theme you'll see. If you don't catch passes, you pretty much suck. That's what a lot of people think, which I don't really think is true. He's in the most run-heavy team in the league by far. He's a second-year player who ended this last season on a tear. And obviously Gus Edwards is still there and Lamar is still there. But they're going to run the ball like a fuck ton. That was a hard F-bomb.
That's the sideline chatter metrics. Fuck ton.
But Dobbins, he's not going to have a big role in the passing game. Lamar doesn't really check down the ball a lot, but I know Dobbins has said in training camp he wants to be a 3-down back, and he's trying to actually like model his game after McCaffrey, which is interesting. I mean, everybody probably wants to be him.
Yeah,
But no,
I'm
I think
glad he said that, and not I want to model my game after Trent Richardson. I'm glad he didn't say that.
Right. But no, I think he has a clear path to 10 touchdowns and 1,000 rushing yards. So I mean, that's that right there. You know what I mean?
He's dropping bombs. I'll go through my 2016. I got a lot to say here. I got 20 Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, Chris Carson, Dobbins, and this is where I'm about to take some heat. I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 16, which I think is definitely a lot lower than people have him. But I'm gonna start off with Miles Sanders. I feel like it happened a lot last season. I am an Eagles fan, but I feel like I trashed the Eagles a lot. And maybe that's because I'm an Eagles fan. But
Right.
I don't really like Miles Sanders as high as he's gone. Like, a lot of people have him way higher than I do. Like, people have him in the top 15, and I personally don't think he's a top 15 fantasy running back. I think he has the talent to, but the team is making it obvious that that's not how they're going to use him. They like Sirianni. I know it might not mean that much, but he already said he wants to use a running back by committee, and to say that this early is usually not a good sign. Hurts is probably going to be a top 3 rushing quarterback in the league, or top 5, but I just don't think he should be taken as your potentially number 1 if you're trying to wait on running backs.
Yeah.
But that's him. Chris Carson, I'm a huge Chris Carson fan. I think Justin knows that, probably to a point where it's annoying. I think I had him in every league last year I was in. If he were to play a full season, I'd have zero doubt in my mind he'd be RB1. That's the only reason why he's not ranked there. And I get that, but you can't draft out of fear, especially when he's coming into the season healthy. It's not like he's coming into the season injured. But they run the ball. They always say they're going to throw it more, and they never do.
Yeah.
Rashad Penny's not someone that's going to take carries away from him. It might just be a change of pace.
Agreed.
Carson, I think he might have had more than 5 receiving touchdowns last year.
Yeah. I think the year before that he was high as hell too.
Yeah, so he's obviously he might not catch as many passes, but they do throw to him in the red zone. So I don't know. I think he could easily be a top 10 running back if he were to play the games. Big if, but still worth it.
Just the way he runs, so physically and shit.
Yeah.
Like he's probably bound to get hurt. But like you said, if he plays a full season, he'd move up my rankings for sure.
I just want to say one more thing about Clyde as to why I have him so low.
Uh-huh.
I know everyone wants to take the first 4 games of last year and be like, he's going to do that for 13 games into the fantasy playoffs, but I just don't see it because as much as Andy Reid, I'm sure, wants to run the ball, having Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, you're not going to run the ball 25 times a game. You're just not over a full season. It's never going to happen. Even if they're winning games, it's not going to happen. But I just had to get that out there that I don't think he's going to be a bell cow or anything. No matter what. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have any competition, really, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have him at 15, one higher than you, which is probably lower than everybody else. But, I mean, he also got hurt for real-life playoffs last year.
Yes.
So you might even think, towards the end of the season, they might try to ease his workload so he doesn't get hurt again.
So especially a year 2 guy.
Yeah. So everybody wants to run with the thing, he's a 3-down back and the best offense in the league. But, he didn't pop off the screen as much as I wanted him to last year, especially as a first-round pick last year. But he has a solid floor, though, I would say.
Yeah. Higher than most.
Yeah. So I'm going to dive into my 15 to 11 ranks. This is where it kind of gets to,
This was tough.
Yeah, it was. 15, I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. 14, David Montgomery. 13, Joe Mixon. 12, Antonio Gibson. 11, Jonathan Taylor.
Setting the world on fire.
Yeah, where to start here? So I'm going to start off with Montgomery. I know
my nemesis.
Your nemesis, yeah, traded him last year. But I know Matt Nagy's came out and said already that he wants to get him 20+ touches a game this year, which I feel like it's kind of said a lot. But if he stays true to that word, then he'll return value just off of that alone. But obviously he was a monster last year, the second half of the year. I know it's because he faced a lot of cupcake defenses and shit. But at the same time, it's still fantasy points, you know what I mean? He did it against bad defenses, but he just helped a lot of people win their championship. You can't take that away from him. I know Tariq Cohen's coming back. He missed last year with the torn ACL.
He might not even start the season, though.
Yeah, I was going to say that, too. Yeah, so he's not even on track, really. He's still up in the air. So Montgomery honestly might have that 3-down back role again. You figure the offense should improve with Andy Dalton or Justin Fields, whoever ends up playing quarterback there. It should improve. So honestly, he has a really nice floor as well. Next player I want to talk about is Jonathan Taylor. I have at 11. News came out today. Carson Wentz is going to miss 4 to 12 weeks with like a broken broken bone in his foot.
I'm just gonna come out. I'm just gonna take my guess. He's out for the whole season. That's just my guess.
I wouldn't doubt it, but I kind of think this is a situation where it knocks him down a little bit, kind of like a Zeke and Prescott last year. Like, yeah, he might see an extra few carries or touches per game, but like I think the offense as a whole might take a step back. Obviously, we haven't seen Jacob Eason play yet. He could be good. He could suck. We don't know. But
Fifth, I think he's a 7th round pick. I think NFL draft.
So I have Taylor at 11. I had him higher like last week, but I think this news kind of knocks him down a little bit. I just want to touch on one thing, you guys in the fucking TikTok comments. Marlon Mack, I don't think it's really going to take anything away from him.
But bro, his Madden rating is high.
Yeah, right. But no, they signed him on a 1-year deal for like $1 million, which is like dog shit. He's coming off a torn Achilles.
Boys
Jonathan Taylor just rushed for 1,200 yards as a rookie. Mac's not going to take much touches away. I worry more about Hines in the receiving game. But Taylor also had 35 catches last year, which is decent. So, but I do have Taylor at 11. I know a lot of people do not like Taylor this year for good reason, but that's my top 11 so far.
So I'm gonna start my 15 to 11. 15 to 11. Mine's Montgomery, Swift, Harris, which I know Justin's not a fan of. Gibson and Joe Mixon, which I know a lot of people. That's gonna be a mixed review right there. I know a lot of people love and hate Joe Mixon. I know Reggie ain't drafting him, but
a lot of people aren't. Yeah.
I really only have something to say about Mixon. I know we say it. I feel like it's said every year the same things of why he should be good. He's gonna get. He's guaranteed a 3-down role this year because Bernard's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's guaranteed that. They do have I think they have a 4th round rookie running back, but like he's not. I don't think right away he's gonna be any threat. If he gets that receiving workload, there's literally no like ceiling for Joe Mixon.
Right.
If he were to play a full season and get the receiving workload, he could be a top 5 PPR running back. I don't think that's totally out of the question. I think that's obviously a ceiling, but team that's going to throw the ball a ton. So I think that should help him PPR wise, but they're going to give him at least 18 touches a game if he stays on the field.
I think more than that,
I think you can't go year to year with grudges against people.
Mm-hmm.
I know like if he screwed you last year because he was supposed to play every week and then he didn't play, I know that's probably really frustrating, but if you're in a redraft league, it's a redraft for a reason. Like, you can't hold a grudge against a player.
Agreed, yeah. That's a good point.
So I'm really high on Mixon this year, but
yeah, I mean, if he stays healthy and Burrow stays healthy, I think their offense should be in the top half of the league easy. So he also has a nice floor. I know I've used that word quite a bit, but I know a lot of games he had like 25 carries, 20 carries plus. I think 2 years ago he finished like top 5 in rushing. I think it was. So I have him at 13. You had him at what?
11.
11. Okay.
He's played more games than Dalvin Cook in his career. Just put that out there for you injury-prone people.
Yeah, Cook's going to 2.
And they came in the league the same year. I don't want that to be
I
don't want that to be a inflated stat. I'm not trying to be like he played 5 more seasons.
That's a good point there. But all right, 10 to 6. That's where it gets dicey for me. All right, 10 I have Najee Harris, 9 Saquon Barkley. Don't fucking shoot me. 8 Aaron Jones, 7 Austin Eckler, and 6 Nick Chubb. Maybe not the most popular.
Najee.
Top 10? Yeah, I have Najee Harris at 10. I think I've said this a few times so far this year. I think he'll push for like top 5 in the league in touches. They plan to use him as a 3-down workhorse. They obviously drafted him in the first round. So I think based off that alone, like I think he'll see 20 plus carries a game. He should see like 5 plus targets per game. And also, last year the Steelers, they should take note of this, that their play style did not work because they started out 10-0, whatever it was, and then they lost. Like they
Every
just
game,
it was bad. It got bad, and they were throwing like 50 times per game. These little short routes. So I think with a running back they draft in the first round, they're going to try to establish somewhat of a new identity, and I think he'll be on the field like a ton. So like he might even have more touches than Nick Chubb, but I have Harris at 10. Their offensive line isn't the best. Yes, we know that, but I think
that's my only reason why I don't have him as high as you do, because we've seen in the past if the offensive line is that bad, it can affect.
Yeah,
like
no, for
Saquon
sure.
literally was having games, and he's considered probably one of the best running backs, like pure talent wise in the league, and he was having games with 12 carries for 8 yards. Like the line, like I know that Steelers passing game is a lot better than the Giants, but like the line does make a difference. And I'm not saying he's not going to be bad. He's definitely going to be in the top 12 or 13 running backs fantasy wise easily. But that's my only reason why he's not higher.
Nah, that's a fair point. But yeah,
I'm haunted by Saquon.
Yeah, I like taking rookies too. I feel like they have like a different like upside to them. Yeah, Saquon at 9. I mean,
I have him at 8, so I mean it's really not.
I mean, like
every day it looks worse. Every single day it looks worse for Saquon.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks ago I had him at 6 or 7 or something like that, and now it's like I have him at 9. They're saying he might not get a full workload for the first month or two of the season, and it's like, bro, when you're taking your first round pick, like you don't really want to have to worry about that.
Right.
That's just annoying to deal with. Obviously, he has all the talent and all the workout metrics in the world and the explosiveness, but like, and also he's injury prone at this point. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Last 2 years he's been. Last year he didn't even play. He played what, 2 games?
Yeah.
The year before that he got hurt. So, I mean, just for the first round for sake, I don't want that much risk. So I'm throwing him at 9.
I say he could be, if he does fall to you in the middle of the second round, I think that's a steal.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's not your first round pick, so you can take a chance on somebody who might not play the whole season. You mean he's gonna play? Like it's not like he's missing games, which makes it even harder to rank him. Because like say he was missing the first month of the season,
then you would just knock him down.
Yeah, you could like draft accordingly, but they might say that he's going to have a reduced workload, and then they come out week 1 and he gets 26 touches.
Yeah,
like, you know
that could happen too.
And then if he does and he's fine and he lasts the whole season, you get him at like the 14th, 15th pick. Like you just got to steal, like a league-winning steal in the second round.
That's a good point. Yeah, and
definitely you could have like an all-time like good luck or bad luck with this pick. And I personally don't want that risk. I think it's too much, but
like I was saying to you before this, I was in that 10-team mock draft I did, I grabbed Aaron Jones at I think 9 or 8 or 9, and I got Barkley on the way back. Like he actually fell to the second round, which was the first time I've seen it, and it might even continue to fall. I kind of feel like it's just based on the reports that are coming out of camp. But yeah, that's my 10 through 6. What do you got?
10 through 6, I got Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Saquon, Nick Chubb, and Zeke. Zeke is out of my top 5 running backs. There it is. I already spoke on Saquon, so I'll say a little bit about Zeke. I know everything about I'm going to say is a good thing. I don't want it to sound like I'm knocking him because he's 6. I just like the other 5 players ahead of him.
That's fair.
More. If this offense can stay healthy, they will probably set multiple NFL records. Yards, points per game. I could see that absolutely happening. They're going to have a top 5 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
Top 6, in my opinion, running back. And 2 top 14, maybe even higher receivers.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's happened, but it's very rare to have something like that.
It might not. Yeah, it's a lot.
So I just think, he could easily leapfrog who I have at number 5 and who I have at number 4. Like, I could absolutely see that happening. He does get all the receiving work. I know Tony Pollard really looked good at the end of the season, but I think that's also because they didn't have Dak. So the change of pace is something that defenses weren't really prepared for. Still think Zeke's one of the best running backs in the NFL. I'm probably alone in saying that, but I'm also biased. But Zeke's at my top 5.
Yeah, I don't want to put him in my top 5. I'm not a huge fan of him, but I don't know. I guess he'll have a bounce back year. I just want to touch on Aaron Jones real quick. I have him at 8. He's actually finished RB8 or better in the last 2 years. So I feel like at that turn of the first round, like for the 10 or 12 man league, getting him at pick 9, 10, or even 8 if you want. He's so solid. Like he's going to be on the field. He's going to score touchdowns in that offense. He's really as solid as it gets. There's a quick thing on him. You can't go wrong with Aaron Jones there. Top 5, top 4. I feel like he's universal.
Yeah.
But my top 5 is going to be Zeke, Derrick Henry, Kamara, Cook, and then McCaffrey. Yeah, Zeke, like you said, with Dak last year, he was the RB3. If you're pretty much in a 3-down role in that high offense, like you said, like you can't fail. Zeke doesn't excite me anymore. Like I don't think like I like Chubb a lot better in real life than Zeke, but obviously Chubb, Kareem Hunt's there to steal the work. Yeah, I hope he can bounce back this year because I know a lot of Zeke owners last year like couldn't stand him and he was just like ass. As soon as Dak left, he sucked. I know Q was like super mad. He was like he hated him, so he traded him for Montgomery.
Yeah, I was the asshole.
4 through 1, I got Henry, Kamara, Cook, McCaffrey. If you got the first pick, take McCaffrey. I think it's simple.
Don't even think about it.
And then Cook. I think those two, or McCaffrey's in the tier of his own, then it goes Cook. Then Kamara and Henry are kind of close to each other. With the Michael Thomas news, him being out for some couple of months or whatever it is, I think Kamara should see an increased workload in the passing game, as he always does, but even more so now. And then Henry obviously just rushed for 2,000 yards. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, can't go wrong with any of those top 4.
But your top 5, we gotta hear this 5 spot.
5,
fun.
I got my boy, Justin's boy now. I think he hates him now. I don't know.
I don't hate him.
In the last 3 months, he's really turned on him. But I got my boy Eckler.
Yeah, I got him a 7, so.
I don't know. I just think, and there's so many ifs if they can stay healthy. I know last year was kind of a weird season with COVID and all that, but like if Eckler can stay on the field, he's gonna catch 85 passes.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's insane. Like that's ridiculous for a running back.
McCaffrey and Kamara status. Yeah.
Like, and I know like I don't want PPR to like take over, and like that's the only reason why I'm taking him. He's not gonna rush for 1,000 yards, probably not, because I do have 2 other backs they like to rotate. But Herbert is looking like he's gonna become one of the top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL. Like his trajectory is insane, just off of last year, and he loves checking down.
I was gonna say
I finally got rid of that dumbass coach, Anthony Lynn. I finally got rid of him. Oh my god, he was the most frustrating football coach to coach a team. But I'm very excited to see how they use him now that he's gone. But I think he absolutely get 1,600 yards and maybe north of 7 touchdowns, just receiving, plus maybe a couple breakaway rushing touchdowns. But I don't know. I'm just really in on Eck this year.
Nah, I like it. I mean, I drafted him last year pretty high. I think last year had a game with like 16 targets, like 15 catches or something crazy like that. He had multiple games with over 10-plus targets, so that's what you like to see, obviously, out of a running back in PPR leagues. If you're not in a PPR league, I think he goes down a decent amount.
I should have said that this is based off PPR.
Yeah.
But
if you're not in a PPR league, what are you doing? Reggie. But no, I like Eckler at 5. I know a lot of people are on the hype train, so I have him at 7, not far back.
So if it were standard, I personally would have Henry over Kamara at 3.
Yeah.
I know you. Oh, I thought you were a Kamara guy.
Not in standard.
No doubt. Well, I mean, I just like wanted to get that out there just because I think that PPR does give Kamara that edge just because he's going to catch 80 passes.
Yeah, compared to Henry's fucking
all
10.
3 of the top 3 will probably catch like 70 or more passes. But Henry, I'm not worried about him getting 12 targets in a season. Like he's just that good of a runner that it doesn't matter. And he's going to score 15 rushing touchdowns this season. So.
And he's going to stay healthy.
Yeah. He's
probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hasn't missed. I don't think he's missed a game yet in his career. So.
But can't go wrong with any of the top 4.
Yeah. So that wraps up our running back rankings episode. Let us know if you guys liked it. If we should like format it a different way, whatnot. I think next we're going to tackle obviously might be receivers or tight ends, QBs. We don't know yet. But stay tuned for that. As always, go TikTok's up to like 2,300 followers. Go follow that. We're gonna have our followers draft soon. Hopefully, get like 16 people in the league and whatnot. Go drop a like, subscribe on this YouTube video, and we'll see y'all next time for the next episode.
Peace.